So welcome guys, welcome to the Freedom Marketing Automation Workshop. Today, as I promised, I'm going to show you something completely different to what you may or may not have thought of before in terms of marketing your business online. Now, most people, when you think of marketing your business online, what do you think? Facebook ads? Social media. What about social media? It's a broad term.
Yeah, just the ads that you can do and statistics and really targeting them.
Okay. How many of you are actively advertising online? You're actually spending money? Yeah, so just a quick show of hands. Okay, so very few of you are actively spending money online. So how many of you would actually like to get more leads and more business using online platforms? Yep, everyone. Okay, great, good answer. Okay, even me, me too. That's why we're in this business. That's why we do what we do. Now, how many of you have the ability to sell to people internationally? That can provide your service internationally? Yes? And you'd like to earn dollars and pounds and euros and all those fun currencies? I'll tell you something that's amazing is, for me, when I go, when I wait for our president to do the speech and then the rand drops and the dollar increases, I love those times. Make an extra rand or two on the dollar, that's very exciting stuff for me. And I can tell you one thing, living in South Africa and earning in other currencies is an absolute blessing, right? It's so much fun. Because when I bring my friends out here, they just say everything is so cheap. So, it's an inspiration to earn in different currencies. So, we're going to have a very informal session, do a bit of a discussion, and a little bit later on, what I want to do is have a bit of a discussion with you guys around your businesses and what you're doing, and give you some advice as to how you can take it to the next level so you can get an idea of what it is like to work with us. Does that sound good? Right? Now, this is not going to be one of those things where I'm going to do a hard sell at the end and you need to buy right now or else you die and you never get that ever again, okay? What we're going to do is at the end, I'm going to show you what it's like to work with us, give you an idea of what that looks like, and then we can have a discussion. You write your name on the paper. If you want to take the discussion further, we'll set up a separate time to do that. Is everyone okay with that? Okay, perfect. So why did we create this system? Now, one of the biggest reasons we created this system, and it is a system, it's a step-by-step process, is that you see all this hype online about how to get your business set up in 2 easy steps and 5 simple steps to get it done. The truth is that it's not that simple. I wish it were that simple. I wish it was so simple that you could get up and get going immediately. And if you don't know how, it's very difficult. But also the biggest thing that this does is, by everyone saying that it's so simple, is that immediately what you want is instant gratification. And I can tell you, in all the years that I've been in business, I've been doing this for 3 years. Previously, I was doing door-to-door sales for 8 years. It has never once been easy. Right? I don't know, how's business for you guys? Is it easy? Do you get challenges every single day? Different challenges every single day? And once you've got one thing sorted, another thing pops up, and then you sort that out, and then something's wrong with this again. Right? Instant gratification is the thing that kills the one and the biggest thing that is going to ensure your business success, and that's perseverance. Okay? Only way you're going to succeed is persevere, persevere, persevere. So the other reason is that we wanted to show you so that you know where to start and how to set it up. Okay? Because it takes time. I mean, I'm sure all of you saw that video. It takes time, it takes effort, but man, is it worth it when you look back. You're actually going to look back and thank your future self is going to thank you for that decision that you took at that time. Okay? It's exciting. Right, so we want to show you what tools and assets you need to create your online freedom funnel. Okay? Because you do need to create assets. You do need to create things that you can give to people that they're going to respond and talk to you in return. We're going to show you, it looks so simple, but it takes time to refine. As I said, we don't want to kill the perseverance. That's the thing that's going to ensure your success. And this was the kind of stuff that I wish I had when I got started. Because when I got started in this online marketing game, it took me 8 months before I even made a single rand online. Okay, now I don't know about you guys, but I'm sure if I knew that there was a system where I could set it up and get it implemented faster and make money faster by learning from someone who'd done that, I would have done that. Okay? And this strategy that we use will actually save you from a lot of mistakes, a lot of very costly mistakes, spending hundreds of thousands on Facebook advertising and wondering why nothing's working and why no one's buying. I can give you tons of examples from ourselves and from people that we've worked with in the past. So here are some of the outcomes from today, is that you'll know exactly what you'll need to build your Freedom online marketing system. right? You're going to get organized around your marketing and what you need to do and when, because it's not about what you do. What's more important is the sequence that you do them in, okay? It's actually more important than what you're physically doing. Then we're going to discover, what online assets you'll need in order to be successful. I'm going to show you exactly what you're going to need, what marketing strategies to use so you don't waste time, and the systems and tools to actually bring your funnel to life, right? There are paid ones, there are free ones, and you guys know the difference. I mean, you get what you pay for, right? Free ones give you limited results, give you limited reach, limited visibility. When you start putting a bit of money behind it, and you don't have to start paying 50,000 Rand, for these systems. You can start small and grow into it, right? As your business grows and as you start making more money. So we asked you a couple of questions before you got here, right? On the form that you filled out, but as well as most of you would have received a call from May. And she asked you a couple of questions about what are some of the biggest challenges that you're facing and what you're looking to achieve in your businesses. And these were some of the answers. The one that came up the most was that you don't have systems to automate the processes in your business, right? Which is interesting. Now, did you know that you can only automate something that you already have a process for? Right? If you don't have a process for that, you can't expect to magically create a process and then have a system do that for you. Do it manually, automate it, right? So you know that it works. Not getting enough high quality leads, right? How many of you spend too much time with people that just don't buy from you? Do you have those conversations?
Yes.
Do you like having those conversations? Do you want to have less of those conversations? So what would you rather have? 10 sales conversations a week where one person buys, or 5 sales conversations a week where 3 people buy? Right? More time, more freedom, more money in your pocket. Okay? So getting the right target audience, right? That was a big one. And I'm going to show you how important this is, because getting your right target audience allows you to create the message that is going to move them to buy. Right? I'm going to give you some examples of that. A CRM that does what you want it to. Okay? Now, CRMs are a funny one. I mean, there's free ones, there's paid ones, and I look at all of these things, and it's so interesting to see what's actually out there. Phil, we were having a discussion now about that, right? When you take a look at a CRM, you want to understand what is the purpose that you want it to do. Different CRMs have different purposes. There are some that just capture information so you know where it is. There's some that will allow you to automate your marketing, to automate your sales, to see where people are in the sales process, to take orders online, to do invoicing, quotes. Depends whatever your purpose is for, right? So you need to get clear on that. And understanding how to market better, right? It's a big, scary marketing world out there. And as I said, we've been through hundreds of thousands of rands and dollars and pounds and euros getting this right. And you know what Facebook comes and does? Sorry, we're changing everything. Good luck. Seriously, they released something yesterday, right? Organic posting is going to shit. They're giving you so much less reach. They did the thing, 70% less reach organically that people were getting. So all those guys that were relying on social shares and everything, 70% less business. That'll cripple your business. And they don't warn you about it, they announce it, right? So everything that you know on a daily basis, it changes. Google changes its algorithms, Facebook changes their algorithms. And keeping up to date with all of this stuff and trying to run your business and sign new clients and, it gets a bit overwhelming. Yeah? Then you told us you want to get more traffic, same thing. And that you're not advertising effectively online. So we're going to show you how to target your ideal target market, how to create the message that moves them to buy, and the assets that you need in order to bring them in. Sound good? Okay. So over the last 3 years, we've helped people raise consulting fees 4 and 5 times and had more people buy. We've created new international business in less than 2 weeks. We've generated R1 million in 2 weeks for some of our clients. We've created 900, for one client, we created 900 highly qualified leads in 1 week. And our ad spend was R1,000. Right? When you get super targeted like that, and it's in an interesting niche, now it was an interesting niche, don't get me wrong, ads were dirt cheap. R1 a click, R1 a lead. Where are you ever going to get a result like that? I mean, that is the best result that we've gotten so far. We've helped clients create 2.5 million Rand in new client sales in 6 weeks, all by using a system. Now, they were selling high-end products, dealing with larger companies, but imagine going to a corporate and closing a deal in 6 weeks. Normally, these things take months, if not years, right? I see Pete nodding your head because you come from that environment. Yeah? It's a slow-moving ball. It's a slow process, right? The reason that all of this happened was because their message was right. The single most important reason. And what is the best thing about marketing? What is actually creating results? It's getting the right message to the right person at the right time. Yes? And if they don't buy right now, you need to be able to follow up with them and stay top of mind. Because here's the truth, is that only 5% of people that engage with you or visit your website or visit your store are ready to buy right now. Doesn't mean they're ready to buy from you, they're just ready to buy. Which means your biggest target market is not the 5% of people who are ready to buy. It's the 95% of people who aren't ready to buy right now. So if you don't have a system to capture their information and to educate and nurture them and follow up with them, you're losing out on your biggest target market. Bless you. All good. These things happen. So this is me. My name's Matt Clark, and by now you're probably wondering, well, who am I and how can I make these claims? So I'm 30 years old. Yes, I'm young and fun and all the rest. I'm not going to go into that. But some of the things I like to do is I like to fly airplanes. I like to ride motorbikes. I like to travel all over the world. I love to go to international conferences. I'm going to the States next month to go and do that. I love it because it expands your horizons. Every time I come back, I'm a different person, right? I like to meet new people, as I've met a lot of you here today. I started a telecoms company at the age of 23, and in 4 years we did almost 200 million rand in sales. Zero marketing, door-to-door sales, okay? Tough game. So I've built elite sales teams of door knockers, I've trained some of the best managers, so sales is my game, I love it. And even as in terms of systems, we had to create a system to bring that thing to life, to make those sales. And when I uncovered marketing automation, I looked at this and I was like, there's a system that can do what I had 60 people doing before. And it works 24/7, it never backchats, it never doesn't shop for work, it never loses its cell phone, breaks its car, gets pregnant, whatever the story is. None of that happens. It works for you 24/7. And at a fraction of the cost. We had staff bills of over 1.5 million rand, right? It's like 100th of that now. It's ridiculous. It's amazing. You can be much more efficient, reach a wider audience. Okay, so these are some of the guys that we've worked with. I'm sure you know some of these names up here. Some of the companies that we work with, and this is just only a handful of them that we put up so that you can get an idea of what the space is. And some of them are speakers. A lot of speakers use this kind of systems that we use. Some of them are product companies. Some of them are service companies. So it really doesn't matter. This is the point I'm trying to get across. What matters is, do you need to communicate better with your clients? Do you need to stay top of mind? Do you need to capture more leads? Do you need to get the right message to the right person at the right time? If the answer is yes, then the system will benefit you. Okay? So I want to show you what I believe is the biggest link in sales funnels, the biggest missing link since sales funnels were actually invented. Okay? Because this is the system that we use over and over again, both for ourselves and for our clients, to generate leads and to generate business worldwide. All right? So what are you here for? You want more leads? Do you want to become competition proof? Do you want to play a bigger game than what you're playing right now without having to invest hundreds of thousands into systems to do that? Do you want to play the game that all of these massive corporates do, where they've invested millions, if not tens of millions, but in your single capacity? Isn't that exciting? Have the advantage that they've got without having to spend millions to get it, right? Do you want to create more freedom in your life, or more sales? And I was chatting to one of our clients yesterday, and he said, Matt, I asked him, just why did you get into this? Why did you start doing this? And he says, I've got a great business, and we currently do about 800,000 rand a month, and we could really crazy business as well. And maybe I'll share that story with you. But he says we could be doing 1.5 million. But my biggest challenge right now is I'm spending all my time in my business. I'm working too hard. He spends he goes some days working 20, 24-hour days. He said to me, my biggest thing is I want to be able to spend more time with my kids. I'm not spending enough time with my kids. I'm not spending enough time with my family. And that's what we're working towards to get him, to help him to achieve that, right? And it is going to happen because it's all the right makings, right? And it's all about mindset and it's all about attitude. If you want this bad enough, you can do it, and we can show you how to do that. Right, so enough about that. Let me share with you something that a mentor of mine taught me. You don't need more money, you need a better strategy. Okay? And my better strategy was to implement systems so that I could get rid of 60 people, have a handful of people with the right person doing the right thing. So now you get very specialized people in the right areas. Okay? So what do these people have that you don't? All of these amazing big time people, what have they got that you don't? What do you think? Systems, yes, absolutely. What else?
Clear goals.
Clear goals, yep. Perseverance, absolutely. Strategy, okay. Couple things. They've got authority. They've got distribution, so they know how to get themselves out there. They've got reach and fame, and they've got influence. Now, how do you, as the business owner in South Africa, get some of these? Right? Doesn't necessarily mean you have to go on stage and talk and get in front of millions of people, but how do you create your own authority, distribution, reach and fame and influence? Sorry?
Good PR.
Good PR?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know good PR people?
I'm one.
You are one?
Yes.
Okay.
And I've seen the impact it has because it's more authentic and you manage perceptions and it doesn't cost you anything besides the person who is doing it for you.
Yep. And does everyone have a good story to tell that's worthy of news?
I believe so. If you take the right angle and you position it for that media and their target market, then you can.
I believe
That's
so
where
too.
our skill comes in and the challenge. Yeah.
Lovely. I think we need to talk. I think you're going to like what I'm going to show you now. Because I believe that too. Right message, right person, right time. Yes? So, why is it that you may not be having the same impact? Right? A couple of reasons. And I'm going to show you how you can actually get the same authority, reach, fame, distribution as you are right now as a small to medium business owner. Sound exciting?
Yes.
Great. So, the first problem is that your lead magnets are not effective and bringing you mediocre results. So you're not attracting enough of your ideal clients. Right? Does everyone know what a lead magnet is? Yes? Who doesn't? Okay, all right. So what a lead magnet is something that you have of value to give somebody else to collect something of value from them in return. Now, what we want from them is their information, their email address, their contact number, their phone number. What can you give them that's going to entice them to give that to you? It's an ethical bribe, if you like. All right? Ebook is one. Yep, ebook's a great example. A free video series, a discount coupon, whatever that is going to entice people to give you their information. But now comes in the question of what is the quality of that. You see, we've done some work with some clients where we've put out competitions, and the competitions and what they were actually offering and their end product didn't really align. So the kind of leads they got, yes, we got a lot of leads, like a lot of leads. But the quality of them, only about 20% of them were really good quality leads. We want to increase that quality because their message wasn't right at the time. So, maybe some of you are still cold calling. Maybe some of you are knocking doors. That's a very particular skill, right? Maybe some of you are doing something even worse and just relying on referrals for your business. Now, referrals are great, don't get me wrong, but it's not a scalable model. Because how many referrals can you actually get in a month? And you're only reliant on the people that know you and are doing business with you to get referrals. What if you're only doing business with 2 people or 3 people? It's very slow and it's very slow to grow, so it's not scalable. Then your second problem is that your ideal target market isn't clearly defined, so you don't have the right message to reach them at the right time, which means you'll end up spending time with people who are never going to buy from you. So do you know, right, who to say no to? I didn't say who's your ideal target market. Do you know who to say no to? No is one of the most powerful words because everyone can say yes to business. And that's one of the biggest traps that we've all fallen into. I've done it too. You say yes to everything and you land up with a whole bunch of clients that are just crap and they take up all your time and cause you hassle and cause you headache, and eventually when you just stop working together you're like, I'm so grateful. Yes, has everyone experienced that? Okay, so have you got a bullet point list of exactly who you want to work with? Have you? Yes? And how clearly defined is that? Right? I'm going to give you an example. And this is something that we do for some of our high-end clients, and this is what we look for in some of our high-end clients, is that we want to look at two things. We want to look at demographics and psychographics. So demographics are the physical attributes in the business and what they physically have. The psychographics is, what do they like? What are their habits? What are the things that are going to motivate them to buy? Make sense? Right? So we don't only want to say, what do they have, but why do they have it? So if I give you an example here, right? A company is making more than 10 million revenue per year, and I always ask myself the question, why is that important? So for me, on our high-end clients, well, because there's setup fees, there's equipment fees, there's advertising fees, it's investment in your business, so you're growing your business and you need the capital to do that for the higher end products, because obviously, but they need to be at a certain stage, right? They need to have more than 2 staff members actively advertising or want to, and they're spending at least $15,000 per month. They've got a database of at least 5,000 people, right? They have multiple pricing tiers, so they sell not only cheaper items, but more high-ticket items as well, right? And the reason being for that is because I want to know if I'm going to work with somebody, and they only sell 100 Rand items, we're going to have to sell a ton of things to actually get a decent ROI. Whereas if they've got a range of different products, we can start there, scale it up, build it up, and they're selling 20, 30, 50,000 Rand, 100,000 Rand products. Much easier to get an ROI. I want to guarantee success for myself. I want to guarantee success for the client because my reputation is at stake. Okay? So here's a question you can ask yourself when you're doing this exercise, and write this down because this is absolutely important. If I had to give a 200% guarantee for my products or services, what do they need to have in place in order for me to give that? Right? So for me, they needed to have a 5,000 list. They needed to have multiple tiers of pricing. They need to be marketing. Because I know if they're already doing that and they've already got that in place, I can say, yes, we're going to get results for you. Okay? Then, they're already doing well and they want to take their business to new heights. They know they need to have a system in place to grow and automate their processes. They want to use technology to help them grow and scale and probably reach an international audience. They've got some digital marketing experience in CRM, websites, email, social media, and they want to work closely with a professional to help them get the results they're looking for. You can even go a bit further, especially when you're doing your targeting. What do they like? If you're dealing with high-end clients, do they like nice clothes? Do they like nice cars? Do they like eating out? Because when you start creating your marketing message, you don't appeal to, hey, here's my product. You appeal to, what do they want the most? Right? Do you want more freedom in your business? Are you feeling stuck? Are you feeling chained? I'm not saying, hey, buy my marketing automation system. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right? So it changes the game a little bit. And if I know all of this, I now know the things that are going to get them to move. Right? So my marketing message might be something along the lines of, are you sick and tired of struggling with online marketing automation? Do you want to work with a professional that can get you to where you want to go further? To get you where you want to go faster and then take you to new heights? Changes the game. Right? Are you looking to break through that ceiling? You've got some growth in your business, but what gets you from A to B doesn't get you from B to C. Are you looking for the strategies and tools to help you break through that glass ceiling that you're stuck looking at? Changes the game. Right. So then there's another example of different products as well, just less. So whatever it is for you, this is what I'm trying to get here. Whatever it is for you, you can have multiple target markets, multiple pricing tiers. You can have different target markets for those different pricing tiers and those different products that you offer, right? Different message as well. With those other guys, I'm going to be telling them something completely different. Okay, so your problem number 3 is you make it too hard to spend money with you. Your pricing model has too many options, or you need to customize it every single time. So how many of you create custom proposals every time you deal with somebody? Yeah? Most of you, actually. How difficult does it make it to get a decision from somebody? Yes? Takes a bit longer. Who likes sitting and doing proposals until all hours of the evening? I hate it. I absolutely hate it. right? And it's just not scalable because you're doing different things every single time, right? So I want to introduce you to someone that we've been working with, the Bitcoin babes, right? So what they needed was more consistent premium online sales. Now, there was one person in the business when we started. She was trying to sell everything to everybody, and there was no fixed pricing. So it was, we make this stuff up as we go along. I'll kind of teach you. We see how it goes. Let's do this. Let's do that. Nothing fixed. So the prospects were also giving her the runaround because, she had to create custom proposals every time, and then there's no fast decisions because now I need to think about it. Can we do this? Can we do that? Can we take some out here, put some more in here? It's not an efficient way of doing it, right? Problem number 4 is that you're doing too much and don't have a strategy to bring in high quality, ready to buy leads. Now, I'm sure most of you have seen this before, is that someone tells you that Facebook is great, so you start doing stuff on Facebook. Someone tells you that, you need to start posting articles on LinkedIn. So what do? You go post articles on LinkedIn. You need to advertise on Facebook. Great, advertise on Facebook. You need to do Google AdWords. Do Google AdWords. You need to do Instagram. You need a blog. You need to do podcasts. And you land up doing a little bit of everything and none of it works. Yes? Organic or not, whether they change the algorithms or not, it doesn't work. It's not bringing you what you want to bring. I've experienced exactly the same thing. Right? So I'm not coming from a place of, I read some stuff and we did it. Like, we tried everything. It's about getting that refinement. Remember what I said, it's less important what you do, it's more important the sequence in that you do it. And different target markets are going to have different platforms, right? I'm going to get your hourly rate.
Okay.
Yeah? Do you want to do that? Okay, so there's a very specific formula for this. Can everyone see the board? Yes? Okay, so we take your money goal or your freedom goal. We divide that by the number of months you want to work in a year. Divide that by the time you have available to deliver. Right? And this is key here. Because you don't get paid for sales and marketing. You don't get paid for having sales meetings. You don't get paid for what I'm doing right now. You don't get paid for this. When do you get paid? What do you get paid to do? You get paid to deliver whatever you're selling. Does that make sense? So if you think there's 24 hours in a day and you think you've got 24 hours that you can get paid in, think again. How much time do you spend delivering? Right, so we're going to work this out. What is your money goal for the year?
Mine is complicated. I don't know if you want to take someone else because I'm currently, should I take it from a personal point of view or my business?
We can go business, personal. If we go from the business point of view, it's how much money the business needs to make an hour.
Okay, so then there's a non-profit company, which is still a company with all the different
Of course it is.
issues and so forth.
Absolutely.
But for us, it would be awesome to do $1 million.
Okay, so let's work this out here. So $1 million. Okay, someone got a calculator ready there for me. How many months do you want to work in a year? 10 months. So $1 million divided by 10. Okay, that's pretty easy. So we've got 100,000. So we need to generate 100,000 Rand per month. And how much time do you have available to deliver on your services? Or how much time do you have available to deliver on your services? Or how much time do you want to be spending delivering on your services per month?
Well, if we say 4 days a week, 20 days and full days are fine. And I say full days because sometimes if we speak at schools, it's during the morning or it's in the evening. Tonight I'm speaking to Garrett, so it varies.
So what do you get paid to deliver on? Remember, because marketing and sales, you don't get paid for that.
So for this, we get paid to do the actual talks at
Okay.
schools,
Okay? So how many hours do you have available to do that?
to do the actual talks.
How many can you realistically do in a day?
I've done 5 in a day, but let's say 2 on average a day.
On average 2 a day, 4 days a week, 32. Okay? So just work out 100,000 divided by 32. 3? 3125. That's what the company needs to be making per hour.
But does that then, that applies for when we do the action talks?
Yep. So when you're delivering, you need to be making 3,125 Rand per hour. Interesting. Now, if you're selling a product, if you're selling a fixed product, right, it doesn't matter whether you're selling time for money. If you're selling a fixed product, right, you need to be generating that amount of money. You need to be making that amount of sales in order to reach that goal every single hour of delivering.
But that's not profit. So if you need the bottom line, you need
Yeah, you can double those numbers.
to go up
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
turnovers.
Yeah. This is a quick calculation. I'd recommend you go and spend some time on it and work out what you want to make for yourself. I mean, if this was your own goal for yourself, you need to sell your hours at 3,125 Rand an hour.
Yeah, because if we, just to share with the talks, we've looked at the profitability. And when you start looking at the time it takes to do the actual bookings, plus social media that we're going to speak at the school afterwards, take photos, etc., it comes down.
Yep.
And we were under the impression that we made 5,000 Rand per talk, but it's not that.
Yep.
It's much less.
And you don't get paid for all of that work that you do as well. So you've got to calculate your time factor. And that's the biggest thing that everyone doesn't factor in. Is yes, there's product costs and there's physical costs and everything, but what is your time worth? So now what you need to do is you need to go back and say, right, I want to make 500,000 Rand in a year, okay, personally, out of the business. I want to make 500,000 Rand a year. I want to work 9 or 10 months in a year, whatever that looks like. I physically have myself personally to deliver, to do talks every single day or whatever the case is. So are you doing talks every day for 5 to 10,000 Rand?
Well, that's what we aim to, but it doesn't happen.
Okay.
Because we don't do the direct marketing.
Perfect. So if you picture it and you say, right, this is the time that I want to deliver, so call it 20 hours a month, then you'll have a goal there for yourself personally. So you know that for you personally, this is how much money you need to be making every single time you are delivering. Make sense? Does that help you guys? Right now,
Sorry, just a quick one on that.
yeah.
If I work out my goal and I work out I need to charge 2,500 an hour, okay. But then I look at my target market and say, well, they can't afford that. Is that I'm carrying my own baggage?
Are you answering your own question? How do you feel about it? Do you feel like you're answering your own question? Like, oh, maybe I need to look at a different target market or adjust my pricing. Okay. Now here's the other thing. So I'm going to show you a little bit later what we've done with some clients because not everyone has an hour-based business. Okay. Yes.
Explain briefly what you want to do.
What's your money goal for the year?
My money goal is one.
Can be either.
I've got a target of 8 million a year.
For you personally or for the company?
That's what the target they're giving to me.
Okay.
I must bring in 8 million.
Then you use that. For yourself personally. So now you know what your time is worth. So now you can start figuring out, well, how do we make that number up? So if I've got, and I'm jumping ahead a little bit here, but if I need to make 3,125 Rand an hour, okay, and I don't have 32 hours to deliver it, what do I need to do? I need to come up with a different way of making that money because people aren't going to charge per hour. And let's be honest, if someone said to me, I'm charging you 3,125 Rand an hour, I'm going to say, ugh, it's not going to be a nice response. So you need to get more creative around this and start thinking, well, how can I create packages that will deliver in that amount of time that make up my money there? Because remember, you're not only thinking about, and we had this discussion with somebody the other day, yesterday, how is? We had this exact discussion with somebody yesterday. He said, so how many hours am I getting for this? And what is this? And what is that? And I said, yeah, well, we worked it out. It was like 300 pounds an hour or something like that is what he worked it out. He's like, brain surgeons don't even make that. And I said, well, we don't work on an hourly basis. This is what you get. We work on outcomes. So now you start focusing on things a little bit differently. Create outcomes instead of hourly rates. But how you create those packages is based on what your hourly rate is. So if you need to make R1 million and you've got 10 hours to deliver, right? You need to know that something 100,000 Rand an hour is what you need to bring in. You need to be making 100,000 Rand an hour on your delivery. Okay? And you've also got to factor in, you want to have family time. You want to travel. You want to go on holiday. I mean, we want to live life. We don't just want to make money and then carry on making money and then just carry on working. I want to travel. I travel a lot. Hell of a lot. Probably spend like half the time in the country, half the time out the country. It's brilliant. But I do business everywhere because I understand the model. Right? And wherever you go, it's different. Obviously, you go overseas, and this is like $300 an hour. It's like $250 an hour. It's nothing. You're a top consultant there for $250 an hour. Top, I say. Yes.
Is it possible to work this formula backwards, starting from the hourly rate that you are charging, and to actually find out how much time do you use to deliver, and how many actually working backwards? Is it possible?
So you've got to start with the end in mind. So what do you want to achieve? Not what are you achieving and how do we work out the times. What do you want to achieve? Design your life around this. This online marketing, the creating the freedom, the creating the time and everything. We didn't just magically decide, okay, well one day, we're going to charge an amount and see what happens. We designed it. We said, right, I want to be making X amount. I want to have this many months free, and this is how long I want to deliver for. There's my hourly rate. That's how much I need to make per hour. And that can be, brought to life in so many different ways. You could run group sessions, right? You don't have to get it all from one person. You could get a whole bunch of people in a room that make up that same amount of time. Does that make sense? So I would take a look I would do this exercise and then compare it to what you're currently charging. That's what I would do.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to.
Yeah. And then design your life around what you want, right? Not what you've got, what you want. Because that's how you grow your business, right? You set goals. They've got clear set goals. No, they design their life around what they want. They want a private jet. They want this. Okay, well, how do we make that happen? Work backwards. Okay? So, I want to introduce you to Don, right? He was working, guy in the Netherlands. He was working 24-hour days, 3 days in a row when I spoke to him. I mean, he was a zombie. He wasn't reaching his sales targets. He was undercharging all of his clients. He had mixed messaging. His marketing wasn't consistent, and he just didn't have enough of his ideal clients. And I'm going to show you what we did with him to get him to the next stage. But the thing that he did have was experience. He started in his industry almost 30 years ago, and he still hadn't cracked the formula. Right? Now, how many of you have been in your industry for a long time, but you're kind of like, there's something missing that's just not getting you to where you want to be? Yeah? Right? We've all experienced it. The seventh problem is that you're on a roller coaster. So you're either delivering or you're marketing and selling. Right? So where's your time based? Okay? What happens is that you become needy. You become out of touch with your prospects and what actually keeps them buying. Because you don't just want them to buy from you once, you want them to buy from you again and again and again. Okay? So what you really need is certainty in your cash flow. A good solid baseline, good solid cash flow, and then you can grow from there. Or you don't want that. So I want to introduce you to Andrew Church, right? Andrew was an interesting guy that we worked with in Australia, and he needed sales now. He'd just been diagnosed with bowel cancer. His business was going down. He had negligible income. He was losing sales. And what made it worse is that one of the people that was working for him actually took his business and remodeled it and started competing with him. Let me ask you a question here. He had mixed messages. He'd written a couple of books. How do you solve your problems without a superhero? Architect of Change. He's an award-winning chef, and he owns a military museum. But let me ask you this question. What does he do?
It's got multiple interests.
But what does he do?
Solve the problem.
Hopefully, yeah. What, in a war museum?
No.
As a chef?
How to solve the problems.
Okay, so you read one of them. What about the war museum and the chef? What does he do? He's an author who owns a war museum. So how do you do business with a guy like this? What is his business? No idea. Do any of you have mixed messaging? Where people look at your things and they're like, what do they actually do? What does your business actually do? How do we do business with you? What is your value add to me? Right? So, where are we right now? Okay, so I'm going to teach you some stuff now. Now we've identified we've got problems. Okay, I'm going to show you how to solve them. All right? So I'm going to teach you the exact strategy we've used for our business and our clients to sell both products and services all over the world, in South Africa and all over the world. I'm going to show you the tools you can use to get organized and automate your business, how to best utilize your marketing spend, how to get the right message to the right person at the right time, how to pre-qualify your prospect so you only spend time with people that are ready to buy. Sound good? And I'm going to give you examples with ROI as well. So would you like to see the step-by-step system? Because it's a system. It's all it is. So phase 1 is you need a lead magnet with an opt-in page. Right? A good solid lead magnet. What does this lead magnet do? It speaks the language of your ideal client and shows them how you can solve their biggest problem. Then you need a place where you can give them that lead magnet in exchange for something of value. Remember the ethical bribe? You want their contact information. So give them a lead magnet, capture their information, and start an automated follow-up journey with them. Okay? Now you're also growing your list. I'm sure you guys have seen all these adverts on Facebook and everything. Grow your list without this, and grow your list 5 times, and your list is everything, blah, 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 blah. Right? Sorry? Money's in the list. That's such a true statement. But the thing that they make, the thing where they make it unrealistic, the thing where they make the biggest mistake is that they want you to have a list of 20, 30, 50,000 people. You can be a millionaire with a small list if you have the right people. For a lot of people that we deal with, they don't need to have 20,000 people on their database. They need 500. They need 200. Because it's 2 or 3 deals that make the business. And then what they do is they follow up with them and create an amazing experience for the client so that they keep coming back for more. Right? Some people do need to have 20,000, 100,000 people on their list. Depends on your business model. But you can get a lot out of a small list if you communicate well with them, if you keep in touch and constantly give them value. So that's phase 1. Phase 2 is plug it into marketing automation. Okay? What marketing automation is it allows you to capture the information into one place, into a CRM, right, that will have automated email follow-up. Get the right message to the right person at the right time. Now imagine there were 2 things. Like imagine I sold 2 products. I sold shoes and did live events. You opted in for the live event and you got messages about shoes. What would you think? Huh? Opt out. Unsubscribe. This idiot doesn't know what he's talking about. What is this? This is not what I opted in for. Well, you shoes. Oh my God.
Compulsory to wear these shoes to the concert.
Relevance.
Yeah.
Relevance. I mean, we can spin anything in PR, however you want to do it, but
No, but I know what you mean.
relevance. Yeah? So, we want to be talking about the right thing to the right person at the right time. And I'm actually going to show you the journey that you guys went through to get here as well. Okay. Phase 3, get in front of the right people. So now you identify who your target market is. Now you need to get it in front of them. Right? And for different businesses, it's different. Some of you, your ideal target market lives on LinkedIn. Some of you, it's on Facebook. Some of you, it's on Instagram. Some of you, it's writing blogs. Some of you, it's directly on Google AdWords. Every single person has got a different target market and they're in different places. And then the last phase is close the deal. Easy, yeah. 4 steps. 4 phases. So let me show you how to bring this stuff to life. Okay? Here's what happens. Step 1 is you create an instant expert authority, which is the book or the brochure that positions you as the authority and shows the client the solutions, your solutions. This is something that explains what you do that is worth reading. Now, I'm not talking write an autobiography, a 100-page book. I'm talking 10 to 20 pages. Because let's be honest, most of the business books that we read, all the values right in the front and then they repeat themselves the rest of the time. Yes? So how do you make it impactful? Right? I'm going to give you this for free. Okay, here you go. This is how you do that, right? Remember the Bitcoin babes? We created a book called Decoding Cryptocurrency, Understanding the Crypto Game and Start Turning a Profit in the Next 5 Days. Now, isn't that sexy? Who wants to know more? Well, let me tell you what happened as a result of this, is that in the second week we were working together, I said, the book hadn't even been finished. I said, here's what you need to do. Post out on your social media that this is the name of your book. Immediately what happened, she had 250 people say, I want that. I want your book, I can't wait for it. Immediately after that, she created sales without even having it out. One post. Right message, right person, right time. Okay? Then what we did was, remember this over here? We aligned her money goal, and what we did was we created 3 different packages to sell. Okay? Based on how much time she had available and what she wanted to do there. Crypto core, 350 Rand. Now, we generally work on 3 different packages. It's a good place to start. Okay? Good, better, best. Good requires none of your time. Automated delivery, videos, emails, whatever, workbooks. Better requires some of your time. Online, group sessions, where you can get the most value for the least amount of time spent. And then the last one is more personalized. And that's where you can start. It's the same package. You know what your delivery time is, but you can get a bit more clever with that and spend a bit more time with them, right? And then ongoing investment training, $299 a month, right? South African lady as well, huh? So the result was that it opened doors. It cut the sales process by more than 75% because people already knew what they were coming in for and they could see the packages clearly defined. So what is the conversation like? Okay, well, which package would you like to... Hi, I want to invest in this. Okay, which package would you want to go for? That's the conversation. Do you want to pay by credit card or EFT? That's the conversation, right? It completely changes the game. Automated lead generation with clients, and we said, what don't they have in this? And we sold them the individual pieces. So now all of a sudden your customer lifetime value increases like tenfold. It's brilliant, right? So we then broke it down and we said, okay, there's different things. So we've got different programs that people can engage in based on what the most important thing is. But if you don't have this right, if you don't have your message, your ideal target market right, it's just so difficult to get results. You'll get them, but it's nowhere near as easy. Okay? And every single person that we've worked with that hasn't gone through this, it's just been that much more difficult. Go through this, floodgates open. It's wonderful. So do you guys want to see the system, the process that you went through to get here? Yeah? Okay. So you came in from either a Facebook ad or an email, or how did most of you guys come in? Did you see email, workspace? Workspace? Facebook? Okay. LinkedIn? Yep, that's right. Good LinkedIn strategy, yeah? And we reached out directly, isn't it? We had a conversation, May followed up with you, organized you to come here. Brilliant. LinkedIn, it's lovely. So different strategies. Remember, where's your ideal target market? Okay, and you can also partner up with people who are dealing with your ideal target market and do a bit of an agreement. These guys are actually one of our clients, so we did a deal with them. You know, get creative around it. You don't need more money, you need a better strategy. Okay, so you would have come to this landing page. On this landing page, we've got this video, and they always take the most horrible photo and make that the first one. Every time. But so you came in, the message is clear. Every time, man, every time. The message is clear. This is exactly what you're going to get. Here's what's available. Here's when it is, what it is. Here's what we're going to cover. It's straight to the point. You know exactly what you're coming in here for. Then you fill in your information. You fill in your information, you get a welcome email, right? You all got that welcome email. The email gives you didn't get it. Okay, well, we need to check that out. Where are you? And did it come through the second time? Okay, we'll check that out. All right. So you should get a welcome email every single time, and then it starts a follow-up process. Now, my particular process, I worked it a little bit differently. I like to add in a personal touch as well, which is why you got the phone call. Okay? And what we found is that adding that personal touch just takes it to the next level. You know, yes, it's fine, we want to buy stuff online and do stuff online, but having that personal touch changes the game, right? So you registered. Let me show you what happened in the background. Oh, it's logged out now. Damn it, I should have just taken a screenshot. All right.
What if you actually downloaded the book on the thank you page? So if some of you that go to that page get some information and said, "Hey, you want to talk this one?" So we're able to see what you have and haven't done in reasons. So that's something of value. We never seen it. You have to ask.
So let's just check. Sometimes it can land up in spam as well. So hopefully that hasn't happened, but it is possible. Did you fill in the information to download the ebook as well? Okay, normally it's on the thank you page.
Would it be because I was doing it from my phone?
No, it should go straight from there. Oh yeah, we were having some issues with one of the landing pages. We did have a bit of integration. So here's what it looks like, right? We invite you to, so an email goes out to the database, you get an invite, so there's a series of invites. So immediate invite, we wait 2 hours, then run it again, so there's the event reminder, then we say on a specific day we want to send out another email, okay? All set up in the beginning, so it just happens automatically. Then you register for the Freedom Marketing Automation event, which was on this landing page which I showed you here. And then it sends a separate set of emails saying thanks for registering, then another one that says a reminder the day before, and another one that says on the day reminder. And then we take a look. It's different. We've got different journeys. That was the basic journey. Then we've got when you go on to the book opt-in page. Yes?
When you register, you receive a message that I registered.
I can set it up that way. I didn't personally. Did you set it up for you?
Well, I got emails coming back and saying, "Hey, no, I see you using register, and why I register." So I sent you a personal one, so you should register.
And then my assistant responded back to you. No, did you get an email response back?
Yeah, I got another one registered. The reminder.
Okay.
Said, the first one said, I hadn't registered.
Yeah. So you see, you can play around with it, right? You can do whatever you want. You set this up however you want in your business. This was how we set it up for here. And then you go to a landing page. So landing page, you guys all know what a landing page is? Yes, it's one page that has one specific focus and one specific thing only. Like this, register for the workshop, that's it. So whatever you do in your business, right, if you've got different products that you sell, you want to have a landing page for each one of those products, a landing page for each one of those services. If you've got different people, Pete, that you recruit for, right, different target industries, you want to have one for IT, one for sales, one for that, because when they land on that page, that's the first thing that you want them to see. That's the only thing you want them to see. Once you've got them in, then you can start talking about the other products and services, right? Yes, Warwick.
What's the difference between a lead magnet and a landing page? Because both of them,
You put your lead magnet on the landing page. So I'll show you here. So where is it? Oh, wait, it's a bit further down. You actually put your lead magnet on the landing page. There you go. So here, the lead magnet is the book, right? You see that? The landing page has got the book on it so that you download it so I can capture your information. Does that make sense? Perfect. Okay, so let's get back to this. Where were we? So Don. Okay, Andrew, we'll start here. Okay, so do you understand how the Easy Leverage marketing campaign works? And this is something that you can use for your clients online and offline as well, or even to old clients to re-engage. I mean, do any of you have databases that you haven't spoken to in a while? Right? That you know there's some money lying around in there, but you just don't quite know how to get it out of them. Get something that's worth reading that tells them exactly what you do. Put that in front of them. That will re-engage them. right? So some of the results, and I mean, for us personally, I'm going to talk about some of our personal results with this, because everything that we do, we haven't just read a book and, you know, regurgitated the information. Everything that we do in our own business first. We stress test it first. We make the mistakes first, and we've made many. Okay, and we've had some interesting responses from people, but you know what? I don't care, because we're moving forward all the time, right? So it's opened up an international market for us. We deal all over the world, right? From Australia to the US to the UK to Netherlands, Switzerland, Philippines, New Zealand, all over the world, right? It's lovely and it's fun because you get exposed to different things. We've cut our sales process by more than 75% because of these exact processes that I've shown you. And our customers are ready to order a hell of a lot faster because they see everything. They know exactly what they're there for. They've already made their decision by the time we talk to them, right? So the results, we've had 300% year-on-year growth. We've had international clients paying higher rates in multiple currencies, a full diary of sales appointments, a new product sold to old clients, so we've increased our customer lifetime value. I mean, if I'm going to show you my diary, it's just sales appointments all day, every day. I love it. I love it. It's what I love to do. It's what I'm good at, and it's what I love to do. So how many of you would like that? More sales appointments, more quality sales appointments, right? So the best part is that when you do this thing properly, it's completely repeatable. You can set it up, you can scale it, you can grow it. Okay? We've done it with a lot of people all over the world. It just works. How many of you saw the testimonials and actually listened to the testimonials on the landing page? Not really? Okay? I'll go through some of them to show you what people have done. So what? Sorry? I have no idea. We'll have to go and check. We can check it in the system. I don't know. There's multiple different ways.
Or you opted into one of our lead magnets.
Yeah.
You might have got an email from one of our affiliates.
So you see, you want to have multiple lead sources. Once the system is up, then your focus is how do we get more people into the system, right? And then you come here and you're like, oh, I got here. I don't know how I got here, but I'm glad I got here, and there's something of value here. You know, that's what you want, because different things will appeal to different people at different times. And remember, 95% of people aren't ready to buy right now. And what we've shown, what we've seen is that 67% of people who visit your website or visit your store are going to buy within a year. Question is, do they buy from you? There's another statistic that I'd like to share with you guys. 73.5% of statistics are made up on the spot. Except those previous two that I gave you. So what's the one big thing that these experts do differently from you? They have a system. They simply have a system. And it doesn't mean you have to go and do 500 different courses, you know, as we were talking earlier, Darren. You don't have to go do 500 different courses. You need to have one or two things done really well, and then the rest flows from there. You know, and what we find is that when we do these books, and when people actually go through this process of writing this book, it gets their message for everything else clear. Your brochure content comes from there, your landing page content, your Facebook ads, your content calendar for the next 12 months comes out of this. So instead of just posting randomly on the different media channels and hoping that something's going to work, you know exactly what you're going to be posting out every single month for the next 12 months because you've already created all of your content. It's now just taking it to that next level. So what we find is a lot of the time is that you take pieces out of that and you expand on those pieces because you're dealing with your ideal client. And it makes you look like a super genius rock star because you've got all this content which is actually only 10 to 20 pages. Right? How many of you struggle with content creation? Yeah? Be honest, it's fine. I did for a long time. Like, what do you write? When do you write it? How do you get it out? Sorry? Drip? Yep, absolutely. Yeah. And even before then, it's like, so drip marketing, they generally talk about that when it comes to emails, right? What about your blog posts? What the hell do you write about? What about LinkedIn articles? What the hell do you write about? What about Facebook posts? What the hell do you write about? And now we've got this amazing thing called video, called YouTube, which is the most watched television in the world. It's more watched than television, right?
Sure.
How many of you are using video in your marketing? Yes? You getting behind camera? Brilliant. How many videos have you done?
Lots. Really a lot.
Brilliant.
But
How's it working for you?
I think it works well, but I think you can get more arms when you do the online marketing more clever.
Definitely.
And SEO, search engine optimization.
SEO is a beast. SEO is a beast. I'll give you an example of a client that we're working with now at the moment. He runs a gym. Okay, he'd probably kill me if you heard me say that, how is? He'd definitely kill me, but he's this massive dude from Congo? Kenya, from Kenya, sorry. And his bicep is about the size of my torso, okay? He's really fit, really well built, tall guy. He's over 50 as well, which is impressive. And he runs this amazing place. And his whole message is not about, hey, come to my gym, get fit, transform your body in 12 weeks. His message is, we are going to transform every aspect of your life. And we're going to show you how to commit to doing this and how to stay committed doing this. Very different message, isn't it? What's more enticing? Come to gym and transform your body? Well, let me show you how to commit to permanent change. I'm going to teach you how to do it in every aspect of your life. And not only is it going to give you physical results, so some of the byproducts are that you're going to get physical results. Some of the other byproducts is you're going to perform better in your work. You're going to perform better in the bedroom. You're going to perform better overall because you're mentally, physically healthy. Your hormones are in check, right? You're eating right. You're doing the right things at the right time. You're more focused. You're more committed to absolutely everything in your life. It's a lot more compelling, isn't it? So we shot a couple of videos, 5-minute long videos, put some Facebook marketing behind it. For 1,500 Rand, got over 10,000 views. Now what does that do for reach? What does that do for branding? And now you've got these views, you've got these people on there. Now, he's committed, so he's living his stuff as well. He's not just saying, I'm teaching you how to commit, but I'm committing to making 2 videos a day. And he does. Doesn't take long, right? What do you do with them afterwards, though?
What do you think the video about?
Well, there's your content. There's your content creation. Remember, blogs, articles, LinkedIn, Facebook, all of that, it needs content. So what are you going to write about? And video is no different. The only difference is you're talking and you're not writing.
Can I make a suggestion?
Absolutely.
Because the question is what you write about is you ask on your platform, what questions do you have? And then probably get a couple and then that's supposed to get you started.
What if no one responds? What if you don't have an audience? Huh? Write a book. You've got to create something. You've got to create an audience. And even if the book is not the way that you want to go, that's okay, right? It is one of the best ones that we've seen, but if it's not, that's okay too. But that gives you credibility, it gives you authority, it gives you reach, it's your message clear, it's your whole sales process, and at the end of the book, guess what? There's a call to action, right? And your whole message comes from there. So if you don't have an audience, you need to create that. And what is all your content about? How you solve their biggest problems. That's it. That's all your content is ever about. How do we solve the biggest problems that you have in your business right now? And remember, we've come up with 10 of the biggest problems. We've come up with 10 problems that they're going to have. So how much content have you got? You can break each one of those problems down. Right? And that's all it is. So when you're doing your LinkedIn articles, when you're doing your blog posts, your Facebook posts, when you're doing, your anything, any content that you're putting out, it's all about what is the biggest problems that they are facing in their business and how they can solve it. Not how you can solve it, how they can solve it. Right? Big difference. So you don't talk about the problem as you're having problems generating leads, right? The reason you're having a problem is because you're not going out and you're not marketing online. Okay? Well, Virtual Edge can help you do that by X, Y, and Z. No one cares about that. Haven't built the trust, haven't built the rapport. Whereas if you frame it a little bit differently and you say, right, so you're having problems generating leads, and the reason you're having those problems is because you're not doing enough online. You're not advertising online and you don't have the right message online. Here's what you can do to solve that problem, right? Step one, get your message right. Find the biggest problems that your ideal clients face. Write how you can solve those problems, okay? Step two is set up a Facebook ad. Go set up a Facebook ad account and actually just put an ad up and just say how to deal with your problem by doing X. Step three, watch the numbers. Step four, phone and follow up, right? And if you like how this worked at the bottom, if you like this, then maybe you'd like to have a conversation with us too. Click here to do that. Changes it around a little bit, doesn't it? It's a lot less pushy, a lot less. I mean, you want people coming to you. You don't want to be going out chasing people all the time, do you? It's expensive.
I've this year changed my approach. I'm in recruitment primarily. And if LinkedIn is our primary tool, and every other recruiter out there just posts job ads or says, come and speak to me as a candidate. So this year I changed my approach from that direct approach to more of an instructional, educational one, and the change in my business is immense.
Did it impact the type of people that
Yeah.
said they want to apply for that job?
Yeah, I'm getting a lot more executives, a lot more senior people because I position myself differently.
The scope of business has changed, right? Well, it hasn't really, but it's because of all the tools that we've got now available to us, we can change the scope of business. We can change the way that business has been done, right? In this day and age, business is no longer about selling. It's about providing information. It's about teaching, about educating, right? So what have we got here? Look at the automated income system, valued education, distributed to the right audience, automated follow-up, and sales. That's it. That's as simple as it is. Get the right pieces in the right places, and you'll have success. Okay? You'll have the authority, the distribution, the reach and the fame, and the influence. So, was that valuable?
Yes.
Do you guys learn some stuff? Is there anything that you feel like you can go away and implement right now? Yes? There should be action items as you've been going down. Right, so I know we are almost at 4 o'clock, so there's two things that I'd like to do before we finish up. Number one is that if you want to come and have a conversation with us and you want to figure out how we can help you get this done in your business, just go write your name down on the back there and we'll have a conversation. It's on average, you need to have at least 15,000 Rand to invest in your business because there's advertising, there's all sorts of stuff. So just get that in your mind, at least 15,000 Rand to invest in yourself, to invest in your business when we have this conversation, right? And there's different tiers, so depending on what you need will depend on what we put it on. And if we get a nice big group session together, we'll get some discounted rates as well. But I'll have a chat to you guys at the time. So if you want to go and do that, you guys want to have a conversation, go write your name and we'll give you guys a call over the next 2 days. The second thing I'd like to do is just a little bit of a value add, is do a bit of a hot seat. You guys will know what a hot seat is, right? So just ask you about your business, okay? You can tell me what is one of the biggest problems that you're facing, and I can show you how I'd solve that. So you can actually get an idea of how we work. Does anyone want to go? Okay? No problem. Talk to you soon.
One of the biggest problems that I've got in my business is that my sales team are in a comfort zone.
Okay?
Our biggest client's been with us forever, and the one business development manager only focuses on that soul relationship.
Yep.
So we need to increase our client base.
Okay. So what is their lead generation process? Are you generating leads for them? Are you expecting them to go out and generate leads? What are you doing?
Both. I'm generating leads for them and handing that business over when I've qualified it.
Okay.
And I'm expecting them to go and do that.
So you're doing everything for them?
No, I'm not doing everything for them.
You're not closing the deal for them, but you're doing everything else for them?
Yeah.
Okay. As a salesperson, where's the incentive?
The incentive is when we make a placement, the end of the process when we've delivered.
Okay. So money.
Yeah.
Money is the least motivating factor that you can give any person. And the reason I say that, I mean, you know my background, we've been friends for a long time as well, is that, I mean, I've run sales teams before, and, you know, our salary bill was like 1.5 million rand a month at one stage. We've lost a lot of salespeople, trained a lot of salespeople. We lost a lot of good salespeople as well, great salespeople that went to other companies because money was the only driving and motivating factor, right? So there's a couple things that I would do. Is number one, have you written down your why?
My personal why or the team?
For the company?
Yes.
Okay. Did you write it down and present it to them, or were they involved in the process?
No, I wrote it down.
You wrote it down and presented it to them. Okay. So what they're seeing is they're seeing your why. Okay. They're seeing your vision. And how involved are they in that? Is it one of those things that most people do is stuck on the wall and they walk right past it?
Yeah.
Okay. That's okay. I've done the same thing too. So they're not working towards your vision. You haven't painted the vision for them big enough that inspires them to move, right? We've literally had people quit their corporate jobs and come and work for a commission-only salary because the vision was so big.
Yeah.
So I would get very clear on your vision. You know, and a vision is at least 20 years ahead. And it doesn't even matter if you want to sell out in 5 years' time. Paint that vision so that you're building those structures. Right? If your vision is 20 years ahead and you've set goals for 5 years to have someone buy out, what structures and systems do you need to have in place for that? Separate discussion. Something else that will inspire them, all right, that you can use in your business too. And you guys can see it's not just how do you market better and how do you sell better, it's how do you be better, how do you do business better. Like, our purpose is to elevate the level of business worldwide. That's what we're here to do. That's what we believe that we do with every single person, and we see the results because of it, right? So what I would do, and this is something that we've implemented in our business as well, is once a week we have a business growth meeting. Okay? And Wes, you love this, eh? Our whole team loves this. It's brilliant. And what comes out of it is even better. So every week we have a business growth meeting. And in that business growth meeting, so we've created a culture of learning, innovation, and implementation, right? So every week, someone needs to come up, every member of the team needs to come up with one business idea that's going to move the business forward, and 2 department ideas that are going to fix something in their department or move the department forward. They also need to read an article once a week and report back on the key learning features of that article, and read 1 book a month. And when these ideas come up, not if they come up, when they come up, because we had some interesting pushback on our side as well. When they come up, you track them on a spreadsheet as to when are they getting implemented, who's implementing them, and what is the time frame that it's taking. Because the ideas that get implemented the fastest are the ones that grow your business the fastest. Right? You know, one of my mentors told me as well is that the amount of new ideas that you come up with and implement in your business on a monthly basis is going to determine how successful you are. So your problem isn't, your problem is an inspiration problem. They don't need motivation. Motivation's external. They need to be inspired from internally to go and go look for business. Because that's what you do. You're inspired. You're going to go look for business. Are you going to sit back and wait for stuff to happen?
It's because I know my why. I know my purpose.
Yeah. It's even worth doing an exercise for them as what is their why? What is the most important thing that they would do?
Yeah.
Book out a half-day session with your team. Order pizza and beer or whatever. Make it fun. Get them to break out, do little sessions, come back with ideas. Because that's when they get excited. And then implement those ideas as fast as possible. Does that help?
Yeah, thanks.
Pleasure. Anyone else want to go? Yes, Darren.
My biggest challenge is actually getting clarity exactly what I'm offering, whether what might be better than somebody else or different.
Okay. So who's your ideal target market?
My ideal target market is obviously medium-sized companies.
Okay. What does that mean?
Anybody that wants to generate more leads or automate their marketing in 30 days, basically. I've got my rules up, automate the marketing and also get a return on their marketing.
Okay? So what makes you different to any other ad agency out there that's promising the same thing?
What makes it different is that I offer another service that also like analyzes their marketing on a monthly basis to see where they and plug in up to 175 different apps, and then obviously analyze and tell the company where they're going wrong, where the campaigns are going wrong.
So do you see how difficult that is to explain? Okay, so in one sentence, tell me what you do, who your product is for. In one sentence.
My products for
Go for it.
companies that I've got their problems, where their data is a mess, where they're not generating enough leads, they've got more than one system, they're not getting a return on investment on their marketing budget. So most of the problems those are my clients.
So those, now you're starting to define your ideal target market. Now it's starting to get clearer, okay? So what else do they need to have? So they've got multiple systems. Why do they have multiple systems? Are none of them talking to each other?
Just if they're a bigger company, that's what they've done. You know, they've had these legacy systems for a while. They've designed it themselves. Now it's like the market's changed, so now do they go and spend the money on, or they just like build onto what they've got? So that's the decision-making process.
Okay, so let's get clarity on your ideal target market first, right? Because you don't have that clarity, right? It's kind of like they kind of do this and they kind of do that, and maybe they're over here. Let's get clear on that first, right? Medium-sized companies, how many staff members? 50 to 100. What is their turnover?
Their turnover is about rands about 50 million, I think, I would say.
50 plus?
50 plus. Yeah.
50 to where?
50 to about 100 million.
50 to 100 million. Do they have a marketing department?
I'm sure they do.
Okay. Is there someone handling their marketing? Do they want to work with somebody, or do they want stuff done for them?
There's a combination, obviously, it depends on the company.
Okay. What is their biggest challenge?
Their biggest challenge would be
I hope you're writing this down as you go along, because this is the stuff that you need. Do you see how important it is to get clear on this stuff? It's so important. Get crystal clear on your ideal target market. I mean, we've got clients that are billion rand and 2 billion rand companies, and they're sitting saying to me, well, we're not getting the leads we want. We're not getting the clients we want. And then we go back and do this exercise because they haven't identified the ideal client. And now if you haven't identified your ideal client, how do you know what problems they've got? So if you're saying these guys have got multiple systems, right? Why?
because they put them in exactly said anyway. Have Facebook, have this, do something there, put something there. They didn't do enough research on the system to work out at the time they is on.
Okay.
They had to get one system to do this, one system to do that. Now in the last couple of years, it's all been integrated into one place, one platform.
Okay. So how do you help solve that problem?
So how I solve that problem, obviously, is that we can give you that system. If you want that one platform system that can do X, Y, Z.
So there's an article right there.
Yes.
Okay? That's just a quick one. Now you've got 9 other problems to come up with. So when you get focused on your ideal target market, then you know what platform to reach them on. Now if you're looking for medium-sized companies in the range of 50 to 100 million rand that have got 50 to 100 staff members, is that right?
Yeah.
Are they actively spending money on marketing and advertising?
Sure they are.
They've got a marketing department, right? Who's the person that's going to deal with this stuff? Do they want to get outside help, right? Do they want to learn it internally? Do they want someone to teach them or to do it for them, right? They're using multiple systems, right? Are they early adopters for technology? Are they stuck in the old ages? Absolutely. Because these are going to now spawn the problems that they face. Are they doing everything manually? Are they doing everything offline? Is it like a typical, an old insurance company? Yeah, is it an old insurance company? Doing everything on spreadsheets, doing everything offline. And in the past years, it's been very successful. They've built their business up to 50 million, 100 million rand a year. But now what's got them from A to B is not getting them from B to C. Times have changed. Lots more companies have come in. They've come in with different tools, advantages, tactics. They're micro-niching, focusing on one thing. So slowly what's happening is that all these big companies that they used to deal with are now being chipped away bit by bit by bit by bit by bit. Right? So what is your marketing message now? Your marketing message now is, are you a company that has followed the traditional, are you a company that's followed the traditional route of growth? You've gone out, you've done the door-to-door sales, you've done the cold calling, and it's gotten you to a wonderful place in your business. You've implemented a lot of different systems. As the times have come, you've implemented those systems. But what you're seeing now is what was working then is not working anymore. You're looking for that next step. You're looking for that thing that's going to help you break through and get to the next level. You need a better strategy. If that's you, man, have we got something to show you. And we're recording as well, so you can have that. That one's for free for you. There you go. Does that help?
It does.
Clarity is the biggest thing, and majority of the people that we deal with are already doing well. They're already at a higher level, and it's taking it to that next level. So now we realize that clarity was such a big problem for people, and because it was such a big problem for the big guys, it's a problem for everybody. So what did we do? Well, we created a course on how to get that clarity and how to write a lead magnet that's going to attract your ideal target market. Now you've got different service offerings from the same thing. And you can bring different people in from different ways. Now, if someone hasn't worked with you before, which would be, a lot of these guys at the 50 to 100 million, sometimes they make quick decisions. Most of the time, they make slower decisions because they've got, certain budgets. I mean, I'm not sure how much you understand about how they structure boards and board levels and permissions and all the rest. So each department might get a budget, right? And if you come in at a high price point, and it's over the budget, then they're either going to tender or they're going to ask for a couple of different quotes, right? But if you come in as something that you can generate and give them value right now, that's a low dollar item or low ticket item that they can just say yes to, isn't that exciting? Then you've got your foot in the door. And once you prove your results, so a friend of mine, what she does is she teaches leadership, right? Values-based leadership, part of the John C. Maxwell program. And how she gets in the door is by running this values-based leadership game, right? So she gets everyone in a room, charges a couple $100 a head, and there's food, and she facilitates the whole thing, and she's literally just facilitating the entire game. But she requires the CEOs there, she requires the financial directors there, she requires all the decision makers there because it actually brings all the people together. Runs the game. At the end of it, the guys get so much value out of it, they come to her and they say, we want you to do this company-wide. So what can you give them of value that is of a low entry price that they can get in, and then you can start taking more and more and more and more business. Now your customer lifetime value starts going up as well. How can you help them solve their biggest problem? And then another one, because there's always problems. There's always problems. Remember what I said earlier, you fix this problem, another one pops up, and then once that's fixed, then this one's got problems again because something's changed. And there's there's normally not only 2 problems, there's like 10 problems. So by the time you've come full circle, all of them are broken again. Did that help?
It did.
Anyone else?
I'm part of a venture capital company.
Mm-hmm.
We invest in startup businesses. So one of the challenges that we have is getting an effective pipeline of new companies coming, pitching to us. So a lot of the time, one of the criteria that we have, or a couple of criteria that we have, the business must be a tech business, it must be scalable, and it has to be innovative and disruptive. So most of the businesses that come to us normally don't really fit that mold, and have been struggling to get those types of businesses that we need. So we end up having this whole list of businesses that come through but very few of them would be the type of businesses that would want to invest in.
Define disruptive.
So it's something that is not being replicated. It's something that is completely new, that changes how a specific industry has been functioning. So it's not just about copying a specific model that's working somewhere else and then just saying, for instance, I'm just going to, change, instead of using a vehicle here, I'm going to use a truck.
Yep.
That thing. So, but the model is the same, but it's just that now you're substituting one thing for another.
Mm-hmm. So is it then new?
No, then it would not be new. But of course, look, I'll give a simple example. With Uber, everyone wants to copy the Uber model, but they just want to bring something different in terms of, I'll give you an example of businesses that come through. So one of the businesses wants to start an Uber model with trucks. So they go around kind of, picking up whatever needs to be picked up with that specific truck. So for us, it's not really creating something disruptive per se, but it's just giving the same model, but just transferring it into a different space. You get what I'm saying? So we're looking for things that are kind of fresh ideas, things that have not been done.
So that changes the conversation, because you know how many times I've spoken to people and they're like, I've got the Uber of the finance industry, I've got the Uber of this, the Uber of that, and I'm like, okay, how much money are you doing right now? Where's your app? Where's everything built? Then you've got it, right? When you're starting to generate profit. But if we look at what disruption really is, if we look at what these companies have really done, what have they done? Uber is a taxi service with no taxis. What did they do? They solved the two biggest problems in the taxi industry. That's all they did. Service and time. Availability and time. Right? What was the biggest problem? Well, you phone up a taxi company, you get a taxi come in, it takes half an hour for them to get there, and then they charge you double the rates because they've got to cover their costs each way. So what did Uber do? They said, okay, well, give everyone their own taxis, make it available, and put an Uber on every corner. Starbucks, same thing. Right? Airbnb, same thing. We're making it available to everybody. All they did was they solved the two biggest problems: time and money and availability. Right? So now if you're having that same conversation again, is that if you want disruptive companies, those are people that are solving big problems in an industry. And even if they do want to copy the bus, the truck model or the bus model and make it, then it's a disruptor, if that's the definition. Right? Because it's changing the way that the industry is running. So, you're solving the biggest problems. If everyone's comparing it to Uber and Airbnb. But what it sounds like you're saying is that people are coming up with new ideas. So which one is it, is what I'm saying.
So I think the problem is that people are coming with the same ideas over and over. So that's the challenge. So
what is your message?
it's very simple. Disruptive business. So whatever business that you consider to be disruptive, then that's the type of business that we want, and something that will be scalable. Obviously, it has to be profitable as well. That's what we want. But now,
what is the message you put out to people? Because think about it. If you think about the term disruptive and what defines disruption, well, who does everyone think of? So disruptive businesses, what does everyone think of?
Airbnb, Uber, those typical examples.
Exactly. Everyone thinks of the typical examples because that's what's out there. But here's the thing, is if you're telling people you want disruptive businesses that are disruptive to them, and this is where I'm coming back, I'm going to show you where this comes back now. What they think is disruptive, what are they going to come up with? The same type of things. Right? So what needs to change? The people that you're bringing in, or your message to the people that you're bringing in?
The message.
Oh, amazing. It changes all of a sudden, doesn't it? So now, who is your ideal target market, number one? What are the top 10 problems that they face? Not the top 10 problems that you face and that you're looking for. What are the top 10 problems that they face, and how can you help them solve those problems? Right? Yes, you're a venture capital firm, so one of their biggest problems is going to be money. I don't have money. Okay? But what other problems do they face? I don't have the people, I don't have the systems, I don't have the time, right? And why don't they have the time? Is it because they're sitting in the garage coding all day long? Is it because they are sitting brainstorming all day long and not actually doing any implementation? What is that reason? Now all of a sudden your message changes. Not, I am looking for somebody that does X, Y, and Z. You say, this is what we do. This is who we are. This is what we believe in. What is your vision? Like, what is your message to people out there?
Are you asking me the question?
I am, yes.
I'm not really in the strategy side in terms of, because I actually know my vision, the vision. Like,
Yeah. But even just the message. Everyone should know that in your company. Even just your message. Everyone should know that in your company, right?
Yeah, well, the message is we offer funding to startup businesses from seed capital stage. That's pretty much just, we try to keep things as simple as possible in terms of what it is that we tell people. Because we don't want to have like a long story,
So here's your language there, and this is why you're not getting the people that you want. We try to keep it as simple as possible in terms of what we tell people. There's a guy by the name of Simon Sinek. Have you heard of him before? He wrote a book called Start With Why.
Yeah.
Right? Has everyone seen that? You guys seen that talk?
As well, motivational speaker.
Yes. Right. I advise you to go watch that again. Right? You're starting with, if we just do a quick one over here. Right? So you've got the 3 circles. You've got the why, you've got the what, the how, and you've got the what. Okay? You're familiar with this, right? So, what was your language that you used right now? We tell people what we do. Then we tell them how we do it. But, where is it? In that talk, he gives the example of Apple. If Apple said, well, we're a technology company that sells computers and we bring great, we're a technology company. We bring you innovation by selling you amazing computers. Okay? What is their why, though? Their why is we believe in changing the status quo. Right? How we do that is by implementing innovation into all of our technology on a consistent basis so that you can live the lifestyle that you want. What we do is irrelevant. That's why they can sell you phones, they can sell you earplugs, they can sell you computers, they can sell you Macs, they can sell you iPads. It doesn't matter what they sell. Message is very different. So now thinking about that, how would you change it? Huh?
You asking me that now?
Absolutely, I'm asking you that now. Definitely asking you that now.
I need to apply my mind.
This is what we're doing. I've been applying my mind all day here. Come now, your turn.
Okay. So why is because we want to create more businesses in South Africa that are successful.
So we want, what about we believe? If my why is we believe that in every person we deal with, we uplift their business. How we do that is by using marketing automation and business strategies from around the globe. What we do is irrelevant. Yes? Do you see the difference? Now, people connect to your why before they connect to your what. Because how many venture capital companies are there out there? How many are looking for disruptors, for IT companies? Every single one. Why? Because they've seen the Ubers, they've seen the Airbnbs, they've seen all of these things, and they're like, well, this is a quick buck for me. There are a lot more companies out there where you can make a lot more money backing them that you haven't even thought of because you're focusing on one thing. Connect to your why, get other people to connect to your why, you'll see completely different things happening. Did that help? Nice big gap there, huh?
So maybe something like we believe the next disruptive, next Uber is in Africa. So that's going to call out those guys and go, oh, you know, now they're going to come to you. It's so spot on the focus on that line.
It's the biggest thing. And can you guys see that a lot of the problems that you're dealing with, a lot of the challenges that you're facing in your business are not actually the challenge. It's actually what's behind it that you're missing that's causing all of these challenges. These are just symptoms. They're symptoms. Anyone else want to have a go?
I'll just say that I agree with you on all your points. You just put it quite differently. Other sales, let's say people that talk. Don't talk about sales, but your system is completely, it's the first time I'm hearing.
Told you guys you'd get something different.
So, like from my side, I think our problem is, that the message is going out as to why we're doing it. In fact, it's part of our mission statement, but that's not what we're sending. That's part of what we're
Mhm.
We're sending out, like you say, starting on there, what we do, how we do it. That's talking about you, not about the client.
Yeah. And stories. You need to tell stories.
So one question I want to ask you is, in terms of determining what their problems are. So, yeah, I'm specifically speaking about government. Government in
So we're going to have more than 10, right?
the communication space, every department, every province, every minister has got its communications department.
Yeah.
They even have a GCIS
Yep.
body that has to regulate all of that and do it all. But very often they are not employing people that are real marketers, that understand. So when you come there and you say, okay, this is what we offer and how we can do it, and obviously you can see now it's a long way of doing it. But they also don't know at times what it is that they're having a problem.
Mhm.
Every year, for example, they out in campaigns. I'm sure all of us have seen those campaigns. Arrival Life is a campaign.
Yep. Oh, thank you.
Since the inception of that campaign, every year, death toll has increased. That tells you something that campaign.
Because they're always showing people dying on the things. I mean, like, what do you expect? It's like saying to a child, don't drop that plate. What do they do?
That
'Cause-
campaign is built on wisdom.
Yeah.
So, to talk to them and say to them, we can do it differently and make it sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the secret.
Yep. So what's the question there?
The problem is in articulating
Got it.
the message.
Mm-hmm.
That is the problem.
So well, what is their problem? Their problem is that their campaigns suck. Their problem is that they're not hiring marketing people. They're not hiring professional marketing people. The problem is they're not spending in the right places. The problem is that they're speaking to the wrong demographic. The problem is they're not educating people properly. The problem is that as a government department, they're not making sure that everyone goes properly through the K53 driving school. The problem is that they're still allowing people to buy their licenses. Right? The problem is that there's not enough law enforcement on the road to enforce these laws, and they don't care because it's too easy to give bribes away. That's a problem. It's just like shooting from the hip. How do you help them solve those problems? Education. Education, education, education. Okay? So then you need to get clever around how do you help solve those problems. If that is your mandate to help solve them, put your thinking boots on. But you don't know what their problems are. I mean, you don't know how to get that message across if you don't know what their problems are, if you don't know who their ideal target market is. Right? They've got lots of data, right? I would even ask, deaths on the road, how old are they? Where do the most deaths occur? Are they black, white, Indian, colored? Who are they? Obviously, you won't know what languages they speak because they're dead. But you want to know some of that information, because then you can go back and say, right, now we know this information, where do we get this right message? And what is the right message? Is putting pictures and videos of people driving and smashing into walls and killing themselves the right message?
Costing millions of rand a year to run.
You know, it's that age-old thing. So, like I said to you just now, if a child's walking with a plate and you say, don't drop that plate, what do they hear? Drop that plate. Because the brain doesn't process the negative. So what does he do? Instead of saying, hold tighter, right? It's the same thing there. You're hitting them with negatives all the time. And especially in a society, sure, I don't know where we're going with this. Off the marketing discussion. But it's fun. It's fun. So, I mean, like, but it is marketing. It is marketing. So, like, especially in a society whereby, you know, people are focusing on the wrong thing. There's so much negativity out all day long. You hear about the riots in the schools and the houses burning down and the people trashing government places and the police getting killed, and like there's just so much being thrown at you all the time. Throw another negative thing in, what happens? It just gets lost. Where's the inspirational stories? Where's the motivational stuff? Where's the stuff that makes you feel good? It brings a tear to the eye. You know, those inspirational stories. Have you guys seen Goalcast? It's like they do videos and they just show all these amazing stories of people that have achieved these wonderful things. And every time you watch the videos, you're like, more of that, less of the other crap. There was a really good thing that I saw the one day about this French driving school. And what they did, I think it was French, I can't remember. What they did was that they got the guys to come and do their license, right? But what they said, the driving test, is that while you're doing your license, you need to text. You have to text while you're doing your license, while you're driving. And they hit every single cone. They're like, we can't do this. We said, no, you have to. Finish the course. At the end of this, we're like, we can't do this. Right? Arrive alive. Why are people dying? Is it texting on the phone? Is it drinking and driving? What is the problem? Address that. Address the why. People have this need to text and drive. I see it all the time. You know, you can tell when you're driving behind someone when they're texting, right? Because they're driving slow and they're all over the road and you're swearing like crazy. Maybe not everyone, but I do. And how do you deal with that problem? Because the kids see their parents do it. So the kids think it's okay. So where's the education in that? Putting up banners saying arrive alive is not going to do anything. It's going to do nothing. They're spending millions on that where they could be spending millions on educating the kids and uplifting the level of education. If they don't do that, arrive alive. Whoa. So if you'd like to hire me as your marketing consultant, I'd be happy to have that conversation too. Did that help?
Very much.
Okay, awesome. Anyone else? No? Cool. Then, great to have you guys here. Thanks for attending. There's one thing that I would like you to do before you leave, is if you learned something and you got some value, go and tell it to the camera. I'd really appreciate that in my marketing efforts as well. All right? Because this is what we do. You get testimonials, you provide great value, people love your stuff, you show that other people loved your stuff, and I would suggest all of you do this as well. I've got a page on my website just for client testimonials, so people can see what results they're going to get. So if you learned something and you're happy to do it, I'd really love for you to do a short video for me, just on what you learned and how you enjoyed. Like, explain the value. Don't say it was a great marketing workshop, blah, blah, blah. Explain what you learned, what the value you learned. I'd appreciate that. So thank you all for coming. And if you want to stick around and talk a little bit more, I'll be here. Awesome. Yay. Awesome. Cool.